In Bluey Season 4, Disney has been quietly making decisions about which characters in an episode will never make it to the screen, and one of those decisions is censoring an entire group of dog breeds. Not one, several! And the reason goes much deeper than you think. Today I'm gonna show you exactly which dogs Disney banned and censored from Bluey, and the real explanation behind it. Now, before we get into this, there are actually quite a few dog breeds we've never seen in Bluey. Chihuahuas, Xolo Escuincles, but one dog breed in particular has become extremely controversial, and that's the Pitbull. But here's the thing, some of you actually believe we already saw a Pitbull in the show, specifically in the pirate ship episode. In the background, while Bandit is doing his whale noises, you can see a dog swinging his kid on a swing, and people have been saying that's a Pitbull. Well, it's not. That's a boxer. The official Bluey wiki confirms it. So no, a Pitbull has never appeared in the show, and today we're gonna explain exactly why Disney made sure of that. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. Australia has a list of dog breeds that are either completely banned or heavily restricted in the country, and those dog breeds are the Japanese Tosa, the Argentinian Dogo, the Brazilian Fila, and the Presa Canario. These are not random dog breeds either. Every single one has a reputation that made Australia heavily regulate them. Breeds you'll almost certainly never see in Bluey either. And the reason is simple. These dogs, when raised incorrectly, can be extremely aggressive and dangerous. Now, we're not saying every single one of these dogs is dangerous, but the reality is that without proper training, these breeds can develop serious behavioral problems. And that's exactly why Australia decided to regulate them. But let's think about this from Disney's perspective. Let's say Bluey Season 4 drops a new episode where Bandit runs into an old friend, and that friend turns out to be a Pitbull. They say hello, catch up for a few seconds, and that's it. Seems harmless, right? Well, wrong. Because here's the problem. Most of the people watching Bluey are kids. And kids copy everything from Bluey. The games, the phrases, the characters, and Disney knows that. Kids who walk through parks and see a border collie and think it's Mackenzie, who see a poodle and immediately think of Coco, or that fluffy white Pomeranian that has to be Pom Pom. Now, imagine that same kid sees a Pitbull on the street and walks up to it the wrong way because they saw one in Bluey Season 4 and thought it was friendly. Well, Disney knows this, and that's why even a 2-second background cameo of a Pitbull would put the entire show at risk. All it takes is one incident, one lawsuit, and Bluey is in serious trouble, especially now that the show is watched by millions of families all over the world. And while we're on this topic, that might actually explain why we've never seen cats in Bluey either. Because Australia also has restrictions on certain cat species due to the same reasons: aggression and environmental damage. And speaking of cats, we already found something really disturbing while researching Bluey. There are actual clues hidden across multiple episodes explaining what happened to cats in this universe. So if you want to watch a full video about that, make sure to let us know and subscribe to be the first one to watch it. But continuing with the dogs, don't even get me started on Chihuahuas. Yeah, they're tiny and kind of hilarious, but some of them are absolutely feral. Disney might be keeping those out too. Now, here's the question that makes this even more interesting. How would Bluey's world even explain why we've never seen these dogs? Well, think about it. We already know other countries exist in the show. Bandit's dad visited India. Jean-Luc came from Canada. There were even 2 backpackers in the Explorers episode, one from Argentina and one from France. So technically a Pitbull could exist somewhere in Bluey's world. Maybe from the US, maybe from the UK. But even then, how would the show represent them without it looking aggressive or dangerous? Because if Bluey ever introduced one of these dog breeds, Disney would probably have to be extremely careful with the design. Too tough looking and people complain. Too friendly looking and people complain anyway. Also, it'll probably have to be something super controlled, like a boxer, a bodyguard, maybe even a karate teacher. And I'm pretty sure Bluey's parents, Chili and Bandit, wouldn't feel so comfortable leaving their daughters with a dog like that. Even the merchandise, the t-shirts, and the street art, whenever you see a Pitbull, it always looks intense. Muscular, massive chest, thick neck, heavy chain collar. Pitbull designs almost always end up looking like the final boss of the dog park. Some parts of the world literally call them the demon dog. And the internet definitely doesn't help. Every viral Pitbull video either makes them look terrifying or completely unstoppable. And this actually connects to something deeper about Chili's job in the show. Remember, she works in airport security, and part of that job is assessing the temperament of animals entering the country. It's entirely possible that in Bluey's world, Pitbulls or either of these dog breeds that I told you about exist. They just never make it past the border. What if Chili's job is literally the explanation? What if these dogs do exist in Bluey's world, but they just never make it past border security? I mean, would that be racist in Bluey? But here's something most people don't know, and this is important. These dog breeds aren't completely banned in Australia. They're just extremely regulated. And the list of the requirements to actually own one is honestly wild. The dog has to be neutered. It has to have been born in Australia or registered there. Every time it goes out in public, it needs a muzzle and a leash, which already tells you how seriously Australia treats these dog breeds. And on top of all that, you need government approval, an official permit just to be its owner. So yes, all these dogs exist in Australia, but almost nobody has one. And Disney, with a show watched by millions and millions of kids worldwide, is clearly not taking any chances. Even if Disney wanted to add one, how do you even design it? Because the second you make the dog muscular, serious, or intimidating, people instantly start associating it with aggression. So, there you have it. The real reason Disney censored these dogs from Bluey, it's not just about what looks good on screen. It's about the real-world consequences of what kids see and then try to copy.
And again, this doesn't mean every single dog from these breeds is dangerous. A lot of them are completely fine with the right training, the right owner, and the right environment. But Disney clearly knows this topic is way too controversial to risk inside a show as massive as Bluey, especially when millions of kids around the world are watching every new episode.
Did you already know about this? Because once you notice certain dog breeds never appear in Bluey, it's really hard to unsee it. And what other explanation would you give for why we'll never see these dogs in Bluey? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading every single one of them. And if you want more deep dives like this one, make sure you're subscribed. There's a lot more coming.